Now that you've got your scales learned, and I know you've got your scales learned because all my students do their homework, I'm confident of that. And so now that you've got them learned, you may be sitting around saying, all right, this moron made me learn how to do all these scales, and I frankly don't care. They're not doing me any good. What was I supposed to do after I learned these scales? And so I'm going to show you what I do with scales. This is my 7-string lap steel. It's tuned in C6 tuning with a low minor 7th. That's because I'm strange. I'm going to do a little demo with my 3-string CBG that's tuned in the old traditional 151. In my case, that'd be DAD. A lot of guys, it's GDG or EBE or CGC, or it doesn't matter. It's all the same. It makes no difference whatsoever. So anyway, I play, since this is a G open, and we all know that I'm in a C open, it's a C6, that's a C major chord, and that's a 6th note, and that's an A minor chord, and it's just a wonderful tuning. I love it. But anyway, we remember, this here's my C string, this second to the fattest one, and we remember that it's whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step to make a scale. And you can also do it across the neck. Oops. Okay, but since we know that this is an open C, and that's got to be a D and an E and an F and a G, so I'm playing this particular scale in G. But that's just because I'm playing it on this fret. I mean, if I were playing it here, I'd be playing it in F or E flat, or it makes no difference. That's an A. But I'm playing it in G because I am. It's a lot more fun if you do it not in an open chord, because if you're in open chords, you can't go down below I can't get below that realistically. So, but here I can do this. I can get below that G, and you'll find out why I think that's handy. Anyway, the scale is 1 whole step, 2. My second string's my 3rd, so that's 3. From the 3, it's only a half step. There's 4. My next string is my 5th, so there's 5. My next string's my 6th, because this is a C6 tuning. My next string is my actually technically it's another. Well, from here it would be another C string, so another G string. So it's my 8th. There's my 7th. From 6 to 7, that's the same as going here. And then there's my octave note. So it's. So you can just sit around and play that. Just play scale. So yeah, that's all I'm doing is I'm playing a scale. Except I get bored with going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So pretty soon I'm noodling with it. The funny thing about this, I taught you the pentatonic scale just once, and it was probably pretty forgettable the way I presented it. But the pentatonic scale basically leaves out the 4th and the 7th, because it leaves out anything that requires you to play a half-step interval. Interval is the difference between one note and another note. If you play them one after another, that's a melodic interval. If you play them at the same time, that's a harmonic interval. Either way, it's an interval. That's an interval of a second. That's my first, that's my second. Okay, that's my third, so the interval between the first and the third is, imaginatively enough, a third. Now, the 4th is only half step up from the 3rd, and the 7th is, the natural 7th is only half step below, below the 8th. You may wonder why I'm not playing this string, and that's because it's on up to the next octave. It's another third above this. I could do that, but I don't need to for this particular purpose. Okay, well now this note, that interval, does get used in songs, and this interval gets used in songs, but if you leave out both those half-step intervals, so you don't play the 7th note, and you don't play the 4th note, then you go. That's a pentatonic scale. And a cool thing about C6 tuning, okay, there's my third again. 1, 2, 3. In the case of C6, that's what is it? It's G-A-B. That'd be a B note. Okay. I'm playing in a G chord because that's G, B, and D. 1, 3, and 5 of the G chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 3, 5. Major chord. Piece of snake cake. Anyway, from here, it's 2 frets to the 2nd on either this same string or the next string. So it's really handy because you can get at it depending on where you want your slide. If you want to slide from 1 to 2, you got it there. If you want to slide from 2 to 3, you got it there. But I'm leaving out the 4, and I'm leaving out the 7, and I'm just playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 unique notes. 5 means penta, penta means pentatonic, and the octave. Okay. I was waltzing with my darling. 2. See, and you just mess with your scales. Songs that you want to learn in there. They're in your scales. Either they're in your minor scale or they're in your major scale. And and there are, of course, there's accidentals. And this 4th does get used. Tennessee Waltz at the end of that line. See, there's that 4th. So you got to know it's there. If you play your scales, pretty soon, just because you started out playing scales, you're doing all this fun stuff. And the minor scale is similar. I think I'm going to save that for a separate video though, because I want to get over to the 3-string guitar here and do this a little more. Hang on. I don't play this guitar lap style. I play it conventional guitar style, but I'm playing it lap style just for this video because you can see what I'm doing so much better. Okay, that's a D, an A, and a D, low, middle, top. In terms of scale degree, that's 1, 5, 1. All those little tunings you use that are the common 3-string. Those are all 1-5-1s. GDG is, EBE is, or D, GD, I don't know what I said. Is it? I don't know. Or DAD, because I do D. E is EBE. G is GDE. You know, there's like a G note and there's a D note. But once again, it's the same trick. All the notes that are on that 7-string guitar over there are on this 3-string guitar. They're just, you have to work a little harder to get at them. Okay, there's my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Straight up the D string. That's root tone, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Same trick. But that's an A. Okay, so if we start here, we go D, and then we go E, and then we go F sharp, G, A. Okay. Same note. So we go. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 is our middle string. 6 is up 2 frets. 7 is up 2 frets. And our high string is our 8. Octave note. Those are an octave apart. Okay, so. Playing your scales. I don't use this big heavy bar on this thing, obviously. All those melodies are in there. There's Tennessee Waltz again. I always fall into that because I like it. There's that 4, see? Anytime you go up, you know about using the 5th fret. Right? When you play any old basic song, I'm going to change out of my regular slide here so I can do this right. I may have to shuffle this neck a little. Okay, when you play your basic song, you know, you go open and play a bunch of stuff on the open, and then you go 5th fret and play a bunch of stuff on the 5th fret, and then you go. On there. Hold your eyes. I'm going to shuffle this camera a little bit so that I can move this guitar. I don't want to make you all fall down drunk, but I don't want to make you fall down sober either, actually. Okay, so what did I tell you? open note, whole step, half step, okay? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're at the 5th fret, as if by magic, and you know that your basic song is at the open and the 5th fret and the 7th fret. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're playing 1, 4, and 5. A lot of songs also use a 2. You know, and you can be playing your scales, and pretty soon you're going. I'm a-going fishing all of the time, baby going fishing too. Bet your life, your sweet wife, she gonna catch you. There's a 2-chord, catch more fish than you. 2 chords, I'll always go to 5 chords. Many fish bites if you got good bait. There's a 4-chord, yeah, here's a little tip that I would like to relate. Many fish bites if you got good bait. I'm going fishing, yes, I'm going fishing, and my baby going fishing too. It all comes, it all starts with doing this. Play those scales. See that I don't use a lot of 4 notes, and I don't use a lot of 7 notes in my stuff that I play, and so I tend to fumble over those when I'm playing scales. Play your scales. Play your scales. Just play those scales until you get bored with them, and the next thing you know, you're writing songs.